Right, folks. Gotta have a fag and well, what has been going on? Well, yesterday we saw 9 of the Insulate Britain brigade, the quilt people, as I like to call them. 9 of them got between 6 and 3 months for various offences in jail for blocking roads, which wasn't the actual offence they used. The one they used was because they defied a court injunction not to do it. Well done, Mr. Judge. But unfortunately, by doing that, you've shown just how screwed up the justice system is in this country. 3 to 6 months, basically, for blocking a road and being naughty, for not doing what you were told. Yet we see child abusers, women abusers, grooming gangs, and more walk out of court with a guilty charge, but with suspended sentences. Is that what you call consistency? And the ones that should be held even more accountable, the ones that are supposed to protect these victims and uphold the law, who should get higher sentences, they should be held to accountable at a higher level. They get exactly the same. I mean, the biggest crime now is not following the narrative and being pricked, and for not following the propaganda and doing what they suggest or hint, or opposing threats, or asking questions. That seems to be the biggest crime nowadays. I mean, fraud at the highest level doesn't even get investigated. It could be classed as theft, in my opinion, in some instances, but I'm not going down that route. I prefer to use the word fraud, because that's what it was. Putting a population in fear, I believe that's a crime. If you make someone fear for their life, as far as I know, that's another crime. But yeah, it just shows the inconsistencies and how screwed up the justice system is in this country. And unless you're an elite, of course, and then the law doesn't apply to you whatsoever, does it? You know. But yeah, we'll leave that bit for now. Patel. Oh dear. Where's your reply for what we saw yesterday? The BBC, you know, it just looks like they're turning. I mean, yesterday, this is for all the world to see after Patel has said and promised more money to the French. They are cooperating totally with them. We will stop this 100%. following day, the BBC on the beach over in France film 8 coppers stood in the sand dunes having a smoke. What we call in the UK YouTube having a fag. It's a smoke, it's a cigarette. Millions of Brits use the term every day. It doesn't need censoring in the comments. Idiots. But anyway, yeah, they're there having a smoke. Meanwhile, 30 yards away, up to, well, look, more than 60 illegals carry a boat down the beach past them. 30 yards away. They're watching it. Put it in the water, started the motor, and set off for the good old UK. So actually, maybe Patel wasn't lying when she said the French were cooperating. And they interviewed one of the coppers. Absolutely hilarious. Stood on the beach, dinghy sailing away in the background, and this little copper says, and I quote because I wrote it down because I just found it so funny, "If they want to go to England, who am I to stop them? I'm the French police." Oh. Is the BBC turning on their handlers? The government's pet propaganda outlet turning on them to try and save their own asses? I'm saying this because I do watch it. Simply because I find it the funniest thing on telly at the moment. Watching them rip themselves apart and incriminate them, try and explain something with one sentence and then incriminate themselves with the next one. It's absolutely brilliant. But the BBC is, in particular, when they're doing live interviews with ministers throughout the day, seem to be asking more of the right questions. I mean, many a time now the ministers are sat there squirming, they can't answer. Well, they wouldn't anyway, even if they could. We know that. We know that how they answer questions. Not. But yeah, they're starting to ask the right questions and make them squirm. They trying to save their licence? I don't know. But it's making the ministers look very bad. I'll give them that. But they're still not to be trusted. Never trust them. You've seen how they can turn and squirm. But the highlight of the day yesterday had to be Boris getting a bollocking from Mr. Speaker. It was absolutely glorious to watch. I mean, I'll put it in layman's term. Basically, he was told to shut the fuck up and sit down. Yeah, Mr. Speaker was not happy with Boris. That did give me a good giggle on the day. But anyway, people, I'll leave it. Whether there'll be a video tomorrow, I don't know yet. Again, you know what I'm like on a Friday. I'm in, out, visiting. People come visit me. So we'll have to see how the day goes. But until the next one, thank you for your support. My respects to you all, each and every one of you, as always. Stay safe. Stay strong. Stay free from the tyranny. And laugh at mainstream media. It is a giggle at the moment. My respects to you all. I'm gone.